If you want to be an excellent parent, then you must stop doing the following. Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Elias Matters TV. On today's Elias Matters TV, I'm going to be talking about 5 things you as a parent or guardian must stop doing if you want to be an excellent parent. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy this topic with me. All right. The first thing you need to do if you want to be an excellent parent is you need to stop name calling your child. Yes, this is important. You need to stop name calling your child. If your children has done something that is wrong, I would like you to know that there is no point name calling them. This is not going to up in relation to boosting their self-esteem. Okay, so in child development we talk about building children's self-esteem, okay, in relation to focusing on the overall development of the child. So if you as the parent, you as the guardian, you're name calling your children, it's not going to boost their self-esteem. Yes, as a parent, as a guardian, I know the thoughts in your mind will be like, yeah, sometimes these children, they frustrate you, they do things that is wrong, and you can't help them to name calling them. I would like you to know that name calling, it's not good, okay? Look at the end result of name calling, okay? Look at the negative effect of name calling. You're name calling your children and it's not going to help in terms of boosting their self-esteem. So a piece of advice that I'm going to give to you is that if your child has done something wrong, okay, it's really important that you step back. Do not overreact by name calling them because it's not going to help them in terms of their self-esteem. And also the children will look at it this way, okay, my mom and dad, they name call me all the time, okay, and it's not going to help the child. The child will often feel bad and say, oh, if my parents can refer to me as this, then who am I then? It also make the child to be worthless. Okay, like for instance, if you're calling your child brat, you're calling your child stupid, you're using the word stupid, okay, so the child will look at it and say, oh yes, they're stupid, they're brats. So it's really important. And I also want you to know that if your child has done something, focus on the behavior and not the child. This is where we often miss it as parents, okay? We tend to label the child, okay? Instead of labeling the child, we label the behavior. You say something such as, okay, the behavior you display there, it's not a good behavior, okay? So you're referring to the behavior and not the child. I would like you to take note of this. If your child has done something wrong or your children, they've done something wrong, focus on the behavior and not the child. Okay, so when you are addressing, you address the behavior and not the child. So separate the child from the behavior. This is really important. So take note of this. If you want to be an excellent parent, stop name calling your children. Thank you. The second tip I'm going to give to you if you want to be an excellent parent is stop yelling. Yes, I know you're going to say to me, what is she on about? Can I ever do without yelling? I've seen people ask me questions. Oh, is it possible to not to yell? Okay, so yes, it's possible for you not to yell at your children. And it's not going to happen in a day. Let me let you know, okay? If you want to stop yelling at your children, it's not something that would happen in a day. It's not something that would happen overnight. Constant practice, okay? So you need to practice this, okay? Practice the mechanism you're going to use instead of yelling, okay? So it could be, okay, taking a deep breath, walking away from that situation and come back to address the situation. It is possible. I'm telling you, it is possible. And I would like you to know that parenting is intentional, okay? In relation to your parenting, okay? You need to be intentional about your parenting. It's not all about, okay, you want to instruct, okay? As a parent, you need to be intentional. Parenting is all about being intentional. So in order for you to be an excellent parent, you need to stop yelling at your children. Like I said, it is possible. So it's something you have to practice and it's not going to happen overnight because when you yell at your children, it makes the children to be afraid of you. Sometimes they want to come to you, they want to say things to you, but they know, oh, if I go to my mom and dad, what are they going to do? They are going to yell. And in return, it will make these children to withdraw back, not to come to you. There are some things that these children want to say to you, but they don't feel comfortable. They know if they go to you, maybe if they've done something wrong to tell you, they know you're definitely going to yell at them. So the child will look at it, why going to my mom and dad then? I know they are going to yell. So as a parent, as a guardian, I'm going to implore you today to stop yelling. So it's something you can do. Constant practice and you find out that you're not yelling. Okay, so take note of this second tip as well for you to be an excellent parent. All right, to be an excellent parent, the third thing you need to do it, you need to stop withholding affection. Okay, this is important. Children need love. They need to feel that people love them. Okay, one of the needs of the child is the children need love. It's not a want. So need is of necessity. Okay, so the children need to feel love. Okay, people around them to show that they love them. And part of those people is the most important people that children need to show them love is their parents, their mom and dad. Okay, so I'm going to implore you today, if you want to be an excellent parent, stop withholding love, affection from your children. I know sometimes children, they do things that are wrong, and you as the parent, the only thing you want to do is you don't want to show them love. You're like, oh, just go away, I don't want to talk to you again. Do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that if a child has done something wrong that you should not correct the child. Yes, you need to correct the child, because if you do not correct the child, how is the child going to learn? But there are other mechanisms, there are other ways that you correct a child instead of not showing love to the child. If a child has done something, like I said earlier, focus on the behavior and not the child. Sit down, map out plan, talk to the child. What you've done is wrong, and let the child see where you're coming from. Because sometimes we need to understand that sometimes children want to be children. But you as the adult, you need to let them know that they are a child, that there are some things that they are doing that is not right. Sometimes some of those children, they do things, they don't even know if they are right or wrong. And that's why you as the parent, you as the guardian, your role is to put your children through. In relation to if they've done something wrong, you sit them down and let them know. So it's really important that you need to show your children love. You need to show them you love them. And it's not all about saying, oh, I love you, I love you. In your actions, in your deed, okay? Part of you showing them love is if they've done something wrong, you correct them. With love, you correct them. You sit them down. Okay, what you've done is wrong. I want you to see where I'm coming from. It's not that I don't love you. Because sometimes, when you correct your children, they look at it and say, oh, you don't love them. You're correcting them too much. But you need to let them know that it's part of you loving them. You're correcting them. You want them to do the right thing. So it's really important. I'm going to implore you again, like, for you to be an excellent parent, stop withholding love from your children. Show them that you love them. Say to them that you love them. Part of you loving them is spending time with them, okay? Being interested in what they are doing. Because sometimes as parents, we are not interested in what our children are doing. It's really important, if you want to show them love, that you are part of their life. So the next point that I'm going to emphasize on is for you to be an excellent parent, okay? You need to stop bringing up issues that have happened in the past. I know this is not easy, but you need to stop it. Okay, like I said earlier, parenting is intentional. So you as the parent, you need to be intentional in relation to the things that you do. Okay, so for you to be an excellent parent, you need to stop bringing up issues in the past relating to your children. So if your children has done something wrong last week, you talk about it, discuss it, and move on. Okay, so if a child now did something wrong this week, do not refer to what they've done in the past. Do not say, oh, that's what you did, that the same thing you did last month, the same thing you did 2 months ago. This is not going to help. Okay, so the child has forgotten what they did. You child to remember what they've done in the past, which is not really ideal. Okay, so as a parent, you have to be intentional. Okay, and for you to be an excellent parent, stop bringing up issues that has happened in the past. It has happened in the past, yes, but if there's a need for you to talk about it, it's not when the child has done something wrong, that has done the similar thing, that you're talking about it. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should not bring up issues in the past with your children, but you need to consider the situation. Okay, so you need to consider which contents you're bringing this up. Okay, so if there's a need for you to have a discussion with your child prior to them exhibiting the same behavior that you corrected them before, you can do. Okay, you discuss as a family, you talk about it. Okay, so these are the things that is expected of you in the house, and you move on. It's not when the child has done something wrong this week, you now refer to it last week again. Oh, that was how you did last week again. It's not going to up, okay? And most of the time, children don't like this. They don't like to be reminded of their past. So you as the adult as well, I want you to think for a second. You've done something in the past. You're moving on. Okay, look at it this way. If your friend comes to you and reminded you of what you've done in the past and say, oh, that was how you did last time, okay, you're not a good friend, how will you feel? You're going to feel bad. So the same thing with children as well. So I would like to implore you as a parent, as a guardian, if you want to be an excellent parent, stop bringing up things that had happened in the past with your children. Let the past be in the past and move on, okay? Take note of this. All right. Thing I'm going to talk about today is, if you want to be an excellent parent, okay, stop using the word of you always and you never. Okay, be mindful. Okay, I will cite instance. Stop using like, oh, you would never listen. Okay, this is not good. It's not going to boost the child's self-esteem. It's all coming back to the child has done something wrong, and you're referring to what they've done in the past as well. You're saying, I know, you will never tidy up your room, you never listen, you always do the same thing over and over again. So you've labeled the child already. You're saying to the child, you never listen, you're a stubborn child, you never do what you're told to do. This, you know, that as a parent, these are the things that is not easy to do away with. Because as a parent, you know, most of the time, or sometimes you want your children to do something and they're not doing it, you're just frustrated. You're like, oh, you're grown up, especially for instance, if you have teenagers, you're like, oh, you should know these things. These are the things that you're supposed to do and you're not doing it. I'm so cross with you. And then you use the word, you never listen. That's how you keep doing over and over again. You always want to have your way. These words are not good. It's not going to help children's self-esteem. And look at it, our goal as a parent is to support or promote the overall development of the child in terms of their physical, intellectual, language, emotional, social, and the cultural aspects of the child. But look at it this way, all the points that I've listed, if you as a parent, if you're guilty of one of this, there's no way you're promoting the overall development of the child. Okay, so as a parent, I would like you to take note of all these points. Sit down. Like I said, parenting is intentional. So sit down, look at the things that you've been doing with your children that are not working. So sit down, map out plan in relation to going forward, how you're going to build the overall development of the child. Thank you so much for listening, and subscribe for more if you're interested in this kind of content. And also on this channel, I would like you to know that I have a membership. If you're looking for one way to support me in relation to what I do, join my membership. Care and mind yourself for now. Until I come your way, stay safe. Bye.